Welcome to a shorter video series I'm going to be doing called Song Dissection. And kind of what I want to do with this is whether it's my own songs or having other people on here with their own songs, or if anybody wants to recommend any songs that you want me to do research on and dissect. If you want to do that, yeah, throw me a little K. Throw me a little K with a note saying, what song you want me to dive into, and I'll try my due diligence to get it written down and make a little blurb about it. So for the sort of debut episode, what I'm going to do is a little bit of a breakdown of the little intro I have for this new version of the stream and podcast. It's off of my band Holycoast's album Such Strange Ghosts. It's called Ashes in the Breeze, and I kind of want to take you just a little bit of a quick history of where the song idea kind of came from, sort of my process around how I kind of went about it. Show a couple things, and then kind of play through the song and give a little commentary. And bada bing, bada boom. Kind of a little history lesson with this song in particular is back in 2023, Holy Coast got our good friend and frequent bandmate. We've been playing with him in different bands for God knows over 20 years, Nick Alarvitas. And one of the things that Nick is just absolutely killer at is writing killer fucking guitar riffs. And when he joined the band, it's sort of like, oh crap, I kind of have to step up and I want to write cool riffs too. I want to be like you. Should have, I'll backtrack here. When it comes to me writing a song idea, one of the things that I struggled with a lot in my formative years of trying to be any kind of songwriter is I would try to be like force myself to do it. Like sit down, pick up the fucking guitar, clock in, and try to figure this out. And man, it just was fraught with so much frustration. And I would 99.9% of the time hate what would come out of those little sessions. And so what I attempted to do is I kind of adopted this new mantra of don't force the song. Just when you are feeling creative and you feel the flow, pick it up and just noodle around, see what happens. And sometimes when I do that, sometimes I'll pick up a guitar and an avalanche happens and I wrote a completely new song in 15 minutes, it's lyrics and everything. But then there's some times where it's just a verse guitar riff or a chorus idea or even a vocal melody. And I have that for like a year. And then finally after a year, I revisit it and go, oh, this is what I want to do with it. Which was kind of the case with this song. When I first started with the main riff idea, I coincidentally that week was listening to a metric shit ton of Soundgarden. And I was like, fuck, dude. There are so many good riffs, underrated riffs. They are so heavy. And Chris Cornell is just a fucking god tier vocalist. And so I just started, I was like, ooh, I really want to just pick up the guitar. That was my first inspiration. I'm like, I just want to pick up the guitar. So I picked up the guitar and I just kind of fell into this riff because, all the years of playing metalcore guitar, you kind of have these kind of tendencies, especially when you're in a drop tuning. And I kind of came up with this kind of stoner metal, sludgy, melodic riff. And a lot of times when I'm excited about a part, I kind of panic and I go and grab my phone and I get GarageBand out and then I'll make a little demo and I'll be like, hey, here we fucking go. Right. So that happened and I just heard this vocal melody in my head. So I fucking got GarageBand out. I recorded the riff. I recorded a guitar harmony. And then I just started coming up with vocal ideas. And one of the things that I do enjoy about being in the modern age is living with decent technology. And we're all older and we have kids and busy lives. And so a lot of writing has to be done mobily. And uh, doing so, we have something on Google Drive called the Riff Locker. And I will be sharing a little bit of the Riff Locker here right now. This is our Riff Locker. As you can see, we have a bunch of just with Nick and Eric and myself. Just anytime we have a little piece of an idea, a lick, a whole song, or just, any kind of idea, we stuff it in here. I did some spring cleaning after our last record, and these are all stuff that we have just kind of thrown in the past year or so. So far, of just like riff ideas for any new batch of recordings or song ideas. So I wasn't even sure I was going to be able to fucking do this episode because I deleted everything. But I remembered I may have sent a voice memo version of the original demo idea of like the first verse of Ashes in the Breeze, which at the time was called The Mountain. And I sent it to our producer, Pat, who recorded Such Strange Ghosts. As sort of like a, hey man, this is what I'm working on. I want to, get the engine going here and book some recording time and try to get this record done. So I'm going to play you this original demo. And before I play it, I'm just going to tell you right off the rip, it's way slower. The harmonies are a little different. I recorded like I call little thumb drums, and it's me literally playing drums on fucking GarageBand with my thumbs. And so it's very simple, not very good at all, pretty bad actually. But just to have something that's sort of like here's something under it to kind of give it some movement. And then I really tried my best to do a real fucking Chris Cornell vocal. Thankfully or not thankfully, I didn't end up that part didn't end up making it to the final recording of the song because I just don't think it really fit the vibe. But let's check this out. It's literally all that I had. I just had that verse and fucking vocal idea, and I sent it to some of my musician friends. I sent it to Pat. I was like, "Is this something, guys? Is this something?" And it was something. And then we just kind of started bringing it up at band practice. Once we started getting into gear of just writing in a room together, but also rehearsing to play a couple shows. And I think that Ashes was like the first like organically written song for the record that we kind of threw kind of earlier on into the live show rotation. And I it's one of my favorite songs. And so, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just play the song off of our Bandcamp and just kind of piece by piece go through it and just kind of give a little commentary, a little backstory, maybe what some of the lyrics are, and you know, see in the mind of the process, so to speak. For those who don't know, holycoastband.bandcamp.com. Please follow us on there. Give a little donation. Buy the album if you want to. If you want, or you can just stream it for free. Whatever you want to do. But yeah, let's give Ashes in the Breeze a little bit of a rip, and you can kind of already tell how fucking different it is from that first demo to now. Let's let's take a account of like how much more up tempo that was. So bum 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 bum, and then the fucking demo was bum bum a lot more slower and sludgier and more stoner metal. I really loved how, especially when we play this live, how much energy we can bring with it now. All right, before we hit into the chorus here, a little bit of a backstory of what this song is about. It's about sort of a time, and at the time it was for one relationship, but in hindsight, it was kind of for a lot of my relationships around this time frame, and a lot of times I had the very unhealthy tendency to think of others far more than I think about myself, and I in turn compromise myself and burn myself out, and then I'm kind of just a fucking bummer and disappointment to the person I'm with, and then also to myself, and I'm kind of useless in the relationship. But I sort of use this song as sort of like a sort of fuck you moment to a lot of the not so great times, especially a letter to myself of like, look what you're doing, dude. You are burning yourself out, and for this person, and all that's left of you is fucking dust. Like, there's nothing left here. You've given it all to this person, and now that this person's gone, what do you have left? So this next part, before we jump into it, I fucking love that because originally when we wrote the song, that was the end of the song. But everyone in this band at one time, especially in high school, were in early mid 2000s metalcore bands, and I think it was Nick who had the idea of like, what if we just did that? What if we just brought that back for this fucking song because it's kind of a heavier song on the record. Let's kind of do an homage to 2004. And then fucking Eric across the room was like, what about, something like this? And he just started playing this like super Zayo sounding ugly chord. And then we kind of came up with like a chugging pattern. And I got to fucking scream my dick off. So that high scream, previous to this album being made, Jamie and I were in a death metal band for a couple years before this, and I've always loved doing heavy vocals, and I love doing the growly stuff for sure. But I felt like one of the things that was like strong in my artillery, like my vocal artillery, was my piercing kind of like those kind of highs. And the people in that band fucking hated they fucking hated anytime I would do any kind of high or try to do anything, especially on recording. So this was just kind of my chance to go, no, I get to do this now. I have free reign to do what the fuck I want vocally. So I'm gonna fucking do that high, screech for fucking 20 seconds. Hell yeah. So that was Ashes in the Breeze and how that fucking song came along. If this is something that you guys are interested in and want to kind of keep building on, by all fucking means, give me your suggestions on what songs you want to hear. I'm going to try and get some other people on here to break down some of their music. And I also have recently dove into a treasure trove of really old demos of some pretty embarrassing songs from the over 20 years ago. Oof. So I'm really excited to dive into that. Again, please, if you want to donate to the channel, since I can't monetize on YouTube yet, please help.
I said, God help me.
Donate. Keep the lights on this channel. I do want to be able to eventually be able to make enough money with this content to, at the bare minimum, pay my StreamYard overlords their monthly fee. So anything helps. I want to get obviously better equipment because there's some really cool shit I really want to do with this channel. So thanks for watching, and I will catch you all later.